Hi, and welcome to another episode of Embracing Silver Life. Today's a little bit different. This is take a walk day. This is get out of the house day. This is a day when I'm laying in bed and I don't feel like doing a darn thing, and I just don't want to talk to people. I want to avoid the world, and I really know I'm going to wallow in my self-pity over stupid things. And so I really needed to get out. Honestly, I think sometimes I could be the cruise director on the ship of poor me. But I think we probably all get that way sometimes. So today is getting out and walking. Cemetery happens to be one of my favorite places to go. Right now we are in Lakeview Cemetery, which is in Jamestown, New York. And it's a very large cemetery. From what I understand, there's more people buried in this cemetery than actually live in Jamestown, New York. So there's a lot of interesting names. And it's interesting to look around at the names and the monuments, because I'll say they don't build monuments like they used to. But this is an interesting place. One of the other reasons I like to take cemetery walks is it really gives me a good perspective. When I start feeling sorry for myself and I start worrying about whatever it is, the worry for the day, a lot of times it's nothing serious at all, but it can consume your mind. And coming to the cemetery kind of puts it in perspective. You think, when I get here, how important is what I'm thinking about today? How important is that at all? And it's not important at all, because it's not going to affect me for the rest of my life. It's going to affect me maybe for the rest of the day. It could be for a week, it could be for a month or whatever, but it generally, as far as your lifetime is concerned, it's a short-term worry. So cemeteries kind of put that in perspective for me. The other thing about coming to the cemeteries is just walking. Walking is so good for you. It gets your endorphins going. It helps with your insulin. For those of us as we age, our insulin usage is not as great, so we have to do more movement. And they say, not really strenuous, hard exercise, but just getting your body moving really helps your blood sugar. So if you're having blood sugar issues, this is another reason to keep moving. Another thing I like about cemeteries is you're going to see some really interesting names, especially in a cemetery this age, where there are people from early 1800s on buried here. The older names are really interesting. And you'll see on Facebook, I'm sure a lot of times, people say, my friends are looking for an old name to name their child. What have you got? Well, it sounds gruesome, but come to a cemetery. Go to the old plots. You're going to see some very old names you've never, ever seen before. So that's another fun reason to come here. There's also a lot of graves of people that the names are familiar. And also there's a lot of monuments and things like that they don't build them like they used to. But as far as names go, a lot of times that's going to be names from your area that are going to be like cities, or it's going to be names of streets and businesses that are going to look familiar. So in the case of us here in Jamestown, New York, James Prendergast is buried here, and that's where Jamestown came from, Jamestown. Also, and I haven't found it yet, but B.F. Goodrich of the Goodrich Tire is buried here, and from what I understand, he was buried here before he ever made a tire, so that's an interesting fact. What else? There is one other famous person buried here. We're gonna stop by and take a look at that grave site too. But get out and move. The exercise is gonna help your brain. I'm feeling much better just coming out here. So sometimes you really have to push yourself out of bed. You have to make a commitment, and it's not like going to the gym. It's just getting out, taking a stroll. Grab a friend. Maybe that's going to help you. So get your brain going. So we'll take another walk here and we'll just keep on going. As some of you are probably aware, Jamestown in Sul Ross, New York is the home of Lucy. And Lucy is buried here, along with her family. And there was an interesting movie on, I believe it was Amazon Prime, about Lucy and Desi. And yeah, it's really quite the story. So I would highly encourage you to watch it and understand the struggles of her early life, especially with her family here. And she was quite the lady for supporting them. One of the other things you're going to find at the cemetery is usually a place where military are buried together. And in the case of Lakeview Cemetery, we have Soldier Circle, which is for all men and women who were in the service. And it's quite sobering when you think of all the stones that are here and what we owe these men and women. It just makes you want to pause and remember what they sacrificed for us. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up today. It was a different type of video, and I hope maybe you got some enjoyment out of it. I don't expect it to go viral, of course. At least I hope not. And just take the time, get out, enjoy God's creation, and you can hear all the birds singing, and just enjoy your day. You're going to feel better for it, I promise. Hopefully, you don't trip. And just enjoy it. Take a peaceful walk, no pressures, and think about life, and think about how good you have it compared to other people. Because somebody always has it worse than you do, but sometimes we just lose sight of that. So enjoy, and we will see you next time.